Black Ops 6 Zombies won't meet your expectations and it's going to be disappointing. Well, sort of. Perhaps that's too negative of an opening statement, but let me explain. It has been 4 years since the last official Treyarch title, Cold War Zombies. Cold War Zombies was pretty well received, but it also had a lot of criticism. Vanguard came right after that. That was incredibly poorly received. Modern Warfare Zombies came after that, and that was mixedly okay at start, and then it didn't get supported. And after 4 years, Black Ops 6 is revealed, and there has never been, in my history in the Zombies community, there has never been this much weighing on a single Zombies title ever before. The longest gap we had was between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. That was 3 years. Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, that was also 3 years. But now we're seeing 4 years in between the last Treyarch title. And with Cold War Zombies and Modern Warfare Zombies and especially Vanguard Zombies being subpar in terms of what we're expecting from Zombies in the past, due to, of course, lack of resources and time to actually work on the mode. Cold War was made in 2 years, Vanguard's made in like 6 months, Modern Warfare Zombies made in like a year. They have not had the development time they've needed to make a fully fledged zombie game until this year with Black Ops 6. Now, of course, like I just said, they've been working on other projects as well, so it's not a full, dedicated, fully focused 4 years, but it's still the longest time that we as a community has had between Treyarch zombie games. And so there are so many expectations on this game. This game needs to be this game needs to be the best, this game needs to be this and that in order for me to keep playing zombies, otherwise I'm done with zombies entirely. And honestly, that's a pretty reasonable stance to take given the last couple years of zombies that we've had. However, I want us to truly ask ourselves, what would we be happy with? What is the bare minimum that we would be happy with Black Ops 6? Personally, I do not expect a perfect zombies game. I expect a really darn good one, but I don't expect a perfect one. But then what do I expect? And that's a hard question to answer. Thankfully, we have had one of, if not the biggest zombie blog post we had ever seen a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month or so ago now, explaining every single thing about Black Ops 6 Zombies. So in terms of my expectations, you could watch this 41-minute video of me covering the blog post, and that's basically what I'm expecting from Black Ops 6. But that being said, on a larger scale, I am going to make some predictions here. I am going to predict there is going to be a large group of people, or maybe a vocal group of people, that are done with Black Ops 6, done with zombies. Oh my goodness, this is not Black Ops 3 2.0. This is actually Cold War, a sequel to Cold War. That's not what I asked for. That's not what I want. I am going to leave the community now. And as you're watching those YouTube videos or reading those comments or reading those Reddit posts, it could be pretty easy to sympathize with those and kind of join in that negativity. However, I just wanted to point out and bring to everyone's attention that there has never been a well-received zombie game, at least on launch. Now, to be fair, I wasn't around for World at War and Black Ops 1, so I don't know exactly how the community reacted to that. I think in Black Ops 1, they were just happy to have zombies, but Black Ops 2, you had Transit and Die Rise and Nuketown, and those were not well received at all. Black Ops 3, you think Black Ops 3 was well received? Nuh-uh. People hated Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil was not, the Shadows of Evil we got at launch in Black Ops 3 is not the same Shadows of Evil that we have now. Black Ops 4, one of the best launch maps and the best launch experiences of all of zombies to me in terms of quantity of content, 4 maps, different game modes, all the different difficulties. No matter what, all of that didn't matter because there were blue screens and crashes and bugs, and everybody hated Black Ops 4 for its stability. Cold War Zombies, only one map and that's it. Vanguard Zombies, being Vanguard Zombies, completely different. No wall buys, no main quest, no pack-a-punch camo, no ray gun in the mystery box at all. Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is actually one of the most well-received zombies recently, just due to the kind of premise of Modern Warfare Zombies, but after that, you still have buggy this, crashing that, all those, the Exfil zombies, but that was crashing. Still, there has, like I said, there has not been a well-received, this is the best zombie game ever. I've never seen that in my entire history of being in Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty ever since Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4. I've never seen any discourse at the launch of a game saying, this is the best Call of Duty, this is the best Call of Duty Zombies game ever made ever. I've never, ever seen that. That's not to say I haven't seen positivity. Each zombie game, every Call of Duty game starts with some positivity. Hey, this is fun, this is different, I love this, I love that. There's been positivity, but there's never been like that like how a lot of people think about Black Ops 3, like, oh my goodness, that was the best, we had this, we had that sentiment never happens at the launch of a game. It always happens months, years down the line, looking back in retrospect. Hey, we had it good back then. Hey, we were actually getting this, we were actually getting that. That never happens on launch. On launch, when we're experiencing it within the season itself, we're always like, oh, this is buggy, why can't they fix that? Why don't they add this in? Why don't they change that? That's always the mentality we have during the season, which translates transitions us very well into the fact that at the best case scenario, when this game launches, when Black Ops 6 launches, we hope that it is in the buggiest state that it will ever be. It's probably gonna crash a lot. There's probably gonna be weird camo challenges not unlocked. The main quest might not work the same way that it's designed to be. There might be some leaks. There might be some things that don't work properly. And we hope that is the buggiest that it will ever be, because hopefully throughout the year, throughout the seasons, they will fix those bugs. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that we should expect buggy and broken and unfinished games, because that is not what we need right now. We should not expect that. I do not expect that. Just from a philosophical and a technicality perspective here, if there was just one bug at launch, hopefully they fix that one bug so that way there's less bugs after launch. So, you know, they can't like test these things in all of these different systems until they have millions and millions of people playing it. You know, my point is they are going to patch the game to make it better. Shadows of Evil is a brilliant example. When Black Ops 3 first launched, their gobblegums were at set locations. They actually moved like the mystery box. They would get shut down after you spun them enough times. Margras used to spawn in constantly. Zombies used to sprint on round 3. There used to be a death windmill hit in Black Ops 3. If you were crouching or sliding and you got hit by a zombie, it would take you out of the slide and you would be crouched, but you couldn't sprint. You couldn't sprint after you got hit. That's what it was. When you got hit in Black Ops 3, you couldn't sprint. It would knock you off the sprint. So you would die if you like slid next to a zombie and it hit you, because you would get stuck. The rituals took forever, and there was no shared inventory in co-op in Shadows of Evil. Like, that's what I'm like, these bug fixes, these tiny little changes only happened a couple weeks, a month or two after launch. The game we're getting at launch is not the game we're going to wind up with in a year from now. Even Modern Warfare Zombies has changed over the year, with the stash increases and the containment levels and the Dark Ether rifts and all of those Easter eggs. The game is only going to get better. Xbox and PC players only had Die Machina to play on launch. We didn't have Outbreak, we didn't have Onslaught, and we only had the one map. Outbreak came in Season 2, and Onslaught was a PlayStation exclusive for an entire year. The content that we have now in Cold War is way better than the content we had at launch of Cold War. Additionally, I would highly warn you beautiful people about raising your expectations too high. The biggest offender of this has to be about Liberty Falls. I've seen Reddit posts, YouTube videos, people on my Discord, fellow coworkers I have in the YouTube community saying, I think there's more to Liberty Falls. I think we haven't seen the full map. I think the Dark Ether is going to do this. I think this is going to happen in the main quest and it's going to change how we look at the map. And then I believe Mr. Dalek JD said that he saw a portal icon on the map. So we're all here overthinking, oh my goodness, what could this be? Liberty Falls is going to be different with the main Easter egg. I would highly warn you beautiful people away from that mindset. That portal icon, I've looked over the footage. I don't think the portal icon is on the map itself. I think it's on the map key. And just because something is on the key to a map doesn't mean it's actually on the map itself. And let's remember, basic zombie design, really from every map that I can think of off the top of my head, once you reach the Pack-a-Punch, that's the end of your journey of opening up the map. So if Pack-a-Punch is in the church, which it very much looks like it's gonna be, that's the end of it. That's the entire map. So I'm not asking you to lower your expectations. I'm just asking you to have reasonable expectations, because the next thing that I think I might have been thinking for far too long is that we are getting a DLC 1 map, our first bonus map, our first DLC map in Season 1. My next thing that you can clip if I'm right or wrong here is I predict that all of the zombie updates are going to come in season again. We know for a fact that the first map is going to release before the end of the year, before 2025, which is awesome. In the next, this is so cool. In the next 3 months, including the month we're in, we are getting 3 new zombie maps. Terminus, Liberty Falls, and another zombie map. We're getting 3 maps in 3 months. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. However, I think they actually really liked having the zombie updates on the Reloaded updates. And the dates for this line up very well. Season 6 Reloaded would have come out next Wednesday, the 16th, and then 4 weeks after that is the 13th of November. So I'm guessing on that 13th of November, that's when Season 1 is going to start, because that's essentially 2.5, 3 weeks after after the game has released. There's a tiny little Season 0 preseason season, and a couple weeks later, I predict the 13th is going to be Season 1, and then I predict either December 11th or December 18th, probably December 11th though. I believe December 11th, we are going to see Season 1 reloaded with our first DLC Zombies map. The reason I think this is because when the developers were talking about the main quest and the guided quest specifically, they said that the guided quest would come out half a season after the full update, or the first map, the first main quest.
So what I could say is that the next map is going to be coming by the end of this year.
Oh,
and that is going to be
round-based zombies map.
Really setting the tone for how all in round-based we are this year.
They were very careful with their words not to say anything as specific. So who knows? Maybe it'll be different. I don't know. I don't know how many maps we're getting. I really hope we're getting more than 4 maps as DLC. But again, I'm expecting just 4 maps as DLC. But I am fairly confident they are happy with the zombies updates coming mid-season. Multiplayer, Warzone, all the new guns get to come in at the start of the season. Everybody's excited. They're playing the game. And then after a couple weeks, it's getting a little stale, a little boring. They have the Season Reloaded update, and hey, here's the zombie stuff. So if you're tired of the multiplayer stuff, instead of just more multiplayer stuff, now you could try zombies as well. It kind of stretches out the content. It evenly distributes the content across all of the player base because they want more players to experience more parts of the game itself. If you want your multiplayer players playing zombies, you don't update everything on one day. You split it up a little bit. You spread it out. And honestly, this isn't that big of a deal for me. I know a lot of people hated it in Modern Warfare Zombies, and honestly, the only bad part was the first gap between Season 1 and Season 2 Reloaded, because that was like 3 months as opposed to the regular 2 months. If every Zombies update comes out in the Reloaded, it's the same amount of waiting time than if it came out on the actual regular update or the regular season start. So personally, it doesn't matter to me, but I think people are going to be pretty upset about that. Again, I don't know any of this. I'm just predicting this, and I hope I'm wrong. Now, are these the sorts of things that will completely devastate how good Black Ops 6 Zombies is in your mind? Are these things really gonna matter a year from now, looking back on Black Ops 6? The wait between Zetsubo Noshima and Gorod Krovi, does that affect how you think about those maps today? No. Dead of the Night didn't have any marketing. They accidentally released it, or PlayStation accidentally released it early in Australia, I think, without a trailer, without any marketing. Does that affect how good of a map it is? Absolutely not. Black Ops 4 crashed a lot during its launch. However, it's way more stable now, and personally, it was stable for me from the beginning. Does that affect what we think of it today? In my opinion, it shouldn't. Modern Warfare Zombies, to this day, is still pretty unstable. It still crashes. It still has bugs. That is a problem. So I'm not saying, hey, don't worry about the bugs. Hey, don't worry about the crashes. Don't worry about this, is that, even though, you know, the round saving thing, the ability to save and quit, and the crash recovery, I think that's going to be really cool to experience. I'm not saying, I'm not forgiving these things. I'm not saying that we should forgive them fully and not say anything about them. I'm saying I am expecting the buggiest state of Black Ops 6 on launch, and I'm hoping they don't make it worse as they update it. I hope they make it better. But in all of my experience, in all of my history playing zombie map, being there for launch on zombie maps and all of this stuff, it's not this overwhelming, oh my goodness, this is the best zombie mode ever. Like I said, we've never heard that before. So I don't expect to hear that with Black Ops 6. I want us to be patient. I want us to really take our time, use some level-headed thinking and maturity, and take it for what it is. Yes, give it a little bit of grace, just like we gave Black Ops 3 grace, just like we gave Black Ops 2 grace to get Mob of the Dead and Origins in there. And ultimately, if you're not happy with the state that this game launches in, that's okay. You can come back later in a year from then when hopefully most of the bugs are fixed and all the maps are out and it's got all this content and it's so much better to play. But if you're expecting the next best zombie game ever, and it's perfect and it's got all of these features and all of this content and all this stuff right off the bat in exactly the way that you predict it, you're gonna be disappointed. I know, because people are already disappointed with Liberty Falls. It's crazy to me. It's legitimately crazy, because 2-3 months ago, we were during Modern Warfare Zombies and Vanguard Zombies, everybody was asking, and myself included, and this will be a video in the future, everyone was saying we need Black Ops 3 maps with Cold War mechanics, and that's the perfect zombie game. And here we are, Black Ops 6, we have a sequel to Cold War, and people are upset that it's a sequel to Cold War. Of course it's a sequel to Cold War. I mean, I don't know what else people expected. Managing your expectations can go a long long way in terms of your enjoyment with everything in life. I'm not saying be unreasonably negative or set your expectations super low. I'm saying have reasonable expectations. Take them for what they're worth. When they show you Liberty Falls and they go, here's Liberty Falls, don't expect anything more. When they haven't said how many round-based maps we're getting at launch, don't expect a round-based map every season, or 10 round-based maps, or 20 round-based maps. Expect maybe 4 like we've gotten historically. And if you're really disappointed by Liberty Falls and you want to hear my thoughts on it, it's actually a pretty interesting discussion, and I think I figured out why so many people are disappointed in it, including myself. If you want to hear my thoughts, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.